Hey everybody, my name is Travis Strauss Packles, and we're back with a discussion video about grading. All the different grading companies. There was some huge news dropped on us today, the day I'm filming this, April 1st, that SGC has raised their price from $25 up to $75 for your standard submission. That's insane. On March 30th, PSA announced that they were cutting back on taking in submissions from the economy level up to like the regular services until July 1st. So that takes out PSA, the biggest grading company in the game right now. That takes basically SGC out of the game because who's paying $75 for an SGC grade when they're not really worth much anyways, unless you're going vintage. Again, vintage is different, but for modern cards, which the majority of us I think are grading at this point, that pretty much takes them out because the return on investment at that point is just non-existent. So that leaves a few other companies as options. That leaves SGC. Nope, that leaves CGS, that leaves BGS, that leaves GMA, and that leaves HGA. Now, most of those other companies have the same problems. CGS already has some backlogs issues, but they also have super respected guys grading cards right now. So you could basically trust sending your cards into them and getting good grades. The two guys they hired on when they started their sports card grading division, they were former BGS graders, and some of they're like their top graders, I believe. So they got really good graders over there. They're well respected in the sense that before the sports cards, they were doing comic books, they were doing Pokemon cards, trading cards, stuff like that. So they have a lot of clout in the industry. So that would be probably the next best, I would think. Then you have BGS, who seems to have fallen down quite a bit as far as their popularity and how well they're selling, the resells on a lot of those cards. Plus, their prices now for regular cards are $35 a pop, so it's not like super cheap, but they're also backed up. So they have huge backup issues. CGS as well. CGS is already backed up, and they haven't even gotten the influx they're about to get now that SGC and PSA PSA is not taking submissions, and SGC just raised their price. CSG is going to fly. Like, they're just going to get so many submissions that if they're backed up now, it's going to be insane. We're looking at PSA wait times probably for any new submissions that they get. BGS is already backed up 9 months for like a regular service. So if you're getting like your basic regular service of 9 months on BGS, right now they're probably going to get a huge influx of cards as well. Again, PSA not accepting cards till July 1st is going to make all these other ones who were or weren't backed up even crazier. Except for HGA. HGA is going to be, they're still standard. They haven't changed their price at all, but they have restriction limits on if you can submit to them. I haven't been able to get a submission in a month now, and I've been trying. I just want to get my heritage cards in there, my action variant heritage cards from last year in there, but I can't get a submission in. So obviously there's going to be issues there too. So then you get onto the lowest of the totem, like the bottom rung. You've got GMA. GMA, I guess, is a possibility if it's something you're interested in. We're going to go over pricing for all these companies today and what we're doing. And GMA, basically, their graded cards are about as valuable as a raw card. So there's really no point in going there, period. They are working on updating the way their slabs look, their labels, which could be really good for their company. They still need to work on their image because right now it's pretty much, nobody really grades with them because they're like pretty much a joke. So from there, let's go ahead and jump into some of these pricing, what the new options are available. What do I think the best route is at this point with all these things happening? All right, here we go. First tier we're going to be on is we got CSG, highly respected. They got the top graders from Beckett, and they graded so much other stuff prior to jumping into sports cards. So they have a lot of clout, they have a lot of experience, they know what they're doing, and they're still pricing accordingly for the most part. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is turnaround times. So to get in on a grade on CSG, you have to be a member. To join CSG, it's $25 a year to get in on the grading submission. So you pay in $25, and then you have the option of grading should you want to jump that route, and that's this one right here. You go over here, and then you have your grading options. Just right off the bat, a bulk card, just your standard grade, is $8. And you have to do at least 50 cards to get that price. But $8 is the minimum. If you want subgrades, you have to add an extra $10 per card. So you're looking at $18 per card if you want subgrades. I think you'd probably want subgrades with CSG cards because they have huge labels. And if you don't get the subgrades, there's this huge blank white space on them, and it kind of looks tacky. But I mean, again, that's neither here nor there. It's up to you what you want to do. If you don't do a bulk order, you're looking at $15 an hour. Again, plus $10 for the subgrades, so you're looking at $25. for the card. And the current turnaround times, these are, I'm assuming these are estimates or what they're supposed to be, but they're not that. Everything's backed up weeks already, so that's not correct anymore, these turnaround times. Standard, you're looking at $25 plus 10, so $35, supposedly 25 days, but who knows what it is now. And then the 40 for 1500 and blah, blah, blah. And then you always add $10 per card that you want subgrades on. That's the way. Plus plus that $25 you're spending a year to be a member. So that's the pricing. The pricing's not bad at all. I mean, at $18 even with the subgrades, you're still cheaper than HGA. You're cheaper than PSA. Well, if PSA was taking submissions, you're cheaper than SGC. Cheaper than Beckett. So it's still cheapest way to go. Even like if you average out that $25 a year that you have to do to send in submissions. So good options. The problem is they are super backed up. And as far as resale value is concerned, if you're trying to get cards into grade so you can turn around and sell, like if you had a Brian Hayes first Bowman Chrome and he just hit the home run today and you're like, oh crap, let me get my submissions in so I can get those back quickly. You probably won't get it quick enough to do that. Plus, I don't know if CSG really holds much value. I don't think it does as far as value in the resale market compared to some of those other guys, PSA. But I mean, without PSA, maybe they'll go up, the pricing will, or maybe PSA will go up and these will all go down as people aren't getting PSA grades in, PSA graded cards in. So there's that, and then joining him. So in my opinion, right now, right off the bat, if you want to jump into grade and you want to grade, CSG is my vote. That's where you go. Again, it will be backed up, but at least you get your cards into someone you can trust, and you know they're going to do a good job. And eventually, someday you'll get your cards back. So my second choice is PSA. I know they're not taking submissions till July 1st, but that's still my second choice. Sit on the cards, don't submit them anywhere until July 1st. That's it. Just make a stack, get your stack ready, and then when July 1st hits, you submit. I mean, so will the rest of the country that is grading cards, but still, that's probably going to be the best. If you want your money back, PSA is where you need to go. That's just the way it is right now. At $20 values, that's basically where I think we're all going to be at. We're going to be at $20 when July 1st hits because we're going to have so many to send in. So many products will come out by then. So, but yeah, if you look at it right now, value, economy, regular, and express are suspended, but Super Express for $300 a card is available, as well as walk-in. So now, if you want to fly over to PSA headquarters and submit a card, walk it in. Not only do you have to pay for your plane ticket, you got to pay $600 extra just to submit it. So yeah, it's crazy to me. I would think a walkthrough would be way cheaper, especially if you're walking right over there. But still, but yeah. So $300 is the cheapest you can get into PSA until July 1st. But still, I think that's the second best option you can go with. Just sit on the cards you want to get graded, send them in July 1st. All right, my third option, HGA. They have pretty much guaranteed turnaround times at this point because they limit their grading. If you can get an order in, because they only take 5 max and then 5 max on your submissions plus 20 max a month per person. If you can submit to HGA, I suggest you always submit to HGA. Consistently try to get your max 20 in per month. The money's there. You're almost guaranteed to get your value if you submit to HGA. The problem is getting an order in. So it never hurts to try. And if you plan on selling a card and it's not something that's like thousands of dollars, then I think this is a really good option. So if you can get in there, you can get an order into 5, get some card, just send in what you want. You want a quick flip, you get them back soon enough, and then you'll get them back before. If you go best value at $60, you'll still get them back before PSA is even open. That's by far, I think, the easiest thing to do is if you can get it in there, get it done, get them back, sell them, and you'll make your money back. You just will. They are having a lot of issues with quality control. They are misspelling names like consistently. They keep popping up. The Michael Jordan that came up recently was pretty popular. We really got to work on that. It's kind of crazy that they're still having issues with that. What I think is going on is I think people are typing in what they want and they're not like checking to make sure it's spelled right. So people are just spelling Jordan wrong when they're submitting the card and then it's coming back wrong. So they really need to get someone that's going to look over the stuff before they actually send it back because it's ridiculous. But yeah, that is I think the third best way to go. And I still think even with all those other options, just say CSG is the way you want to go. I don't think you'll be seeing your cards for a really long time, first of all. And secondly, I think you'll still make your money back. You'll probably make more through HGA, but because there's a limit, You just do the 5. I think you should always do the 5 if you can get the 5 and you have the money to get the 5. Do the 5 if you can do it. That's just my advice. BGS is the other one. BGS is, first of all, the value on BGS is just dropped them dramatically. They are no longer the powerhouses that they were. PSA completely overtook them. PSA is super high up, and then there's a bunch of other grading services that are either competitive with them or just plain better. And that holds true for, I think, HTA pretty much sits around at least BGS prices, maybe even higher. So, but this is your fourth option if you want to go BGS. They have now suspended services. Their price, if you want subgrades, is $35 a card. If you don't want subgrades, it's $20 a card. And you're looking at, let's see, there we go. We got turnaround times right here. So you're looking at, if you do an economy submission, which is going to be your $35 a card submission, you're looking at 9 months to get it back. So if you got some rookies that you really like this year, out of Series 1 and you want to send them to BGS, you'll get them probably around opening day next year, I would assume. This is 9+ months, so that's what I'm thinking. So Beckett or BGS is an option if you want to go with that one. I don't suggest it. I don't think it's the best option, or even close to it. I think there's a lot of better options than BGS, but just something I thought would be good to talk about. So on to SGC. Now SGC is a ripoff at this point. I would not grade SGC at all. The vintage would be the best way, the only reason to do it. But I think if you go Beckett, I think you're going to still get just as much value out of an SGC slab. At $75, that's just insane for SGC, especially on the return on investment on SGC cards. It's just so low. It's just not worth it, especially right now. $25, they would have been near the top, but at $75, there's just not a chance. And I'm sure they're backed up as well. I think that's why they raised the prices. They're just getting too many cards, and they can't grade them and send them back in time, and it's just overloading them. So that's why I think a lot of these services are doing that. And HGA seems to stand above all because you can at least get your cards back in a reasonable time. Problem is, again, getting an order in. So SGC, honestly, these last two I wouldn't even grade with. SGC, until SGC fixes their pricing, goes back to a normal price, they're just completely off there's not a chance that I'm grading through SGC. But at $25, if they do come back, when they do drop down, they'd obviously be moved up a little bit higher probably, or at least be gradable. Right now they're just not. So the last one will be GMA. Everybody remember GMA? Whenever you open up those Gems of the Game boxes or anything like that, you get a GMA slab because GMA is pretty much the laughing stock of the grading industry. They don't really have any clout. They don't have any respect. Nobody really cares about them. And their labels are super ugly. Maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, so they really need to work on their image because as of right now, nobody can take them seriously. But their pricing is good. If you decide this is the route you want to go, I wouldn't grade GMA yet. You need to see more. We need to see some kind of growth, or some public perception just needs to get better with GMA because they're just not good enough or worthy. You know, a GMA graded card is the same price as a raw card. So there's really no point in wasting your money and grading a card here. But I thought I would throw them on here because they are a grading company and they do grade cards. And their standard service at $15 per is cheap. The prices seems good, you know, of course. If you do 100 plus, then you're looking at $12. I can't imagine they're backed up because nobody really uses them. I've never ever seen anybody send GMA on purpose. Only GMA slabs I get are like out of Gems of the Game, or I see them on eBay, but I've never seen them, like anybody on Twitter to ever talk about GMA. So I don't know. They are working on their labels, trying to upgrade that. That could be the start of maybe an image change, but we still need to see who their graders are. There's a lot of stuff that they need to work on to be more competitive in the industry. And I think they're still pretty far out. Now, if you think that they're about to turn a corner and you want to jump in, now's the time to do it probably before it's too late, before people should start sending in a bunch of submissions. So, but just a thought, I thought I would throw that in there because $15 per standard service is still the cheapest way to go. It might be kind of fun to send a few in there just to see what's up. I got like 35 Yordan Alvarez Chrome rookies. Maybe I'll send in a few of those just to see what it looks like or see if they've changed the labels yet. But I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys what the pricing looks like, what the options are now, because there's big changes, in the grading industry, at least for the next few months. And if you are impatient, like I can be sometimes, then those are some of the other options you can choose from. Me personally, I'm going to continue to try to submit in through HGA every chance I get, because I do want to get an order in there. I think you'll be okay as far as return on investment with HGA, so they're a good option in my opinion. CGS would be the next way to go. And also, I do want to submit some cards to CGS and see how that goes. Very interested in what I can get back for that, like what they're going to look like, what the values are going to be, and stuff like that. That'll be interesting. Anything you wanted to grade, you're going to just set in a pile, wait for July 1st, and submit with the rest of the world that's going to be submitting to PSA. So those are basically, honestly, the only 3 legitimate options. BGS is just with their price, and then their wait times doesn't seem really worth it at all. And hopefully, ideally, PSA has taken this time, which is PSA has taken these 2 months, and they are expanding. They are making their facilities bigger, or going to a bigger facility, and hiring the necessary people they need to handle these extremely huge loads of cards that they're receiving. So if that's the case, then when they come back July 1st, you submit through PSA, you'll get your cards back faster than if you would submit it to BGS right now. So that's just a few options I thought I would throw out there, give you guys some pricing, give you guys different ideas. Hope this helped at all. I do appreciate you if you stayed and watched. Please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you're gonna do. What route are you gonna go to grade? I'm curious to see what everybody's thoughts are on that. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next time.